It's official, I'm going to be building my dream aquarium. And you might be thinking, Joey, didn't you already with the 2000, the 700, the 375, the electric eel tank, the rackies, etc., etc.? And the answer is simply no. My dream aquarium was technically never really an aquarium. I'm gonna ask you guys for two things in this video. One, be patient with me because I'm excited. Two, don't laugh at me, but also have some vision every time I warn you about a plan that I have, and I'm like, you guys gotta have this vision, you guys gotta have it. Everybody roasts me in the comments, but as soon as the aquarium's done, you're like, oh, that's what you meant. It's another one of those. This is happening. So I'm in Nova Scotia, Canada, and I only get about 2 months of like summer here. I probably would have been a better aquarist or better YouTuber had I had the ability to live in like something like Texas or Florida or something like that where it's hot all the time and I could do this outdoor stuff. I've always fantasized about the idea, being from North America like us, or the most of us that are watching, what if we had an outdoor aquarium with an Asian arowana? Well, that's easy. We could just set up a fish tank and toss an Asian arowana in it. Bing, bang, you're done. I've always wanted an above below ground pond with a viewing window like this and this and this. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. I've never done them because I was always so intimidated and or scared that I wouldn't be able to do it because I'm a DIY fish keeper. And DIY doesn't mean you build everything yourself. For me, it means you just did it yourself. Didn't you just do your water changes by yourself? Didn't you plan your stocking? Didn't you plant it? Didn't you set it all up? That's a DIY fish keeper. It doesn't mean that you built everything for it. But I'm going to build this. So this video is coming out a video before the next one. The next one, I'm going to show you guys a bunch of stuff that I've been working on. The top 3 like tanks type thing. You guys want to know about what's going on with the piranha aquarium. A shocking revelation happened. How I fixed the pond and what's going on here. And then of course the electric eel aquarium. So many people are obsessed with that. But we got to jump ahead because simply put, I'm excited. Here's the plan. What you see here is some concrete blocks. They stand 8 inches a piece. What you're seeing right now is a concrete block layout. Obviously this is how you would lay concrete blocks. They got to be put in a certain way, etc. But I just needed a quick visual because I was excited. I talk about this in my next video, and then once I edited it and I had it done, I was like, I need to see what this is going to look like. This is only 16 inches from the ground, but I got to dig 8 inches down because I want it to be 24 inches deep total. It's around 10 feet long, 4 feet wide. And with the blocks, it would hold around 6,000 gallons. However, on the inside, it's only going to hold 3,000. Here's what I'm thinking. I want to build a concrete pond with a viewing window. And for July and August, I want to put my Asian arowana in it. Now, we're going to have to do a tremendous amount of things, including cover it properly, block the sunlight, all kinds of different things. But that's not the point right now. The point is, how am I going to even accomplish this? Well, I'm going to have to dig around 10 inches deep down into the ground to allow all these blocks to sit down into it. But before I put the blocks back in it, now I'm just killing the grass right now. It'll spend 2 or 3 days sitting here, and then I'm going to have a nice perimeter of where I need to dig and dig out all of this. Then I'm going to level it out with a couple of inches of sand and compact it. From there, the blocks will go in properly, and then I'll have to cement them all together, dump cement down into it, and create a barrier of cement blocks. And then I want to line it with 1-inch styrofoam and a vapor barrier to protect what's coming next. Plywood, because my idea is simple. Most people will build this and then line it in some sort of epoxy. Look, I'm not great with cement or anything like that, but plywood, good one side, is already ready for me to epoxy it. So on the other side of the vapor barrier, I'm going to epoxy it, and I'm thinking about going with a dark gray, similar to this stone here. Fiberglass the corners, similar to a plywood tank that's inside of an insulated concrete area, and a 1-inch thick acrylic viewing panel. Then I need to build the filtration, perhaps connect it over here, but I probably won't. What I'm going to do is do some sort of temperature regulation, because in Canada, July, August gets hot during the day, but then cold at night. And then I want a pergola over it. I want the filtration. I want the grass to grow in. I want to be able to like sit wherever I want, and we'll see what happens there. But isn't this exciting? Now, there's another, bugs, man, are killing me. Now, I want the pergola to also be retractable, meaning that if it's too sunny, it's too hot, I can put the pergola up, but if it's not, I can just pull it back. And I found some of these on Amazon. Look, guys, as soon as I started talking about this in the next video, I knew I have to make this happen. And although it looks like kind of janky and it's not level right now, it certainly will be. This is an incredibly difficult build, and most do it with a pond liner and different methods and whatnot, but you never see it like built like a plywood tank, which you guys know me for, yet a concrete barrier. Now, obviously, I already have all of the concrete blocks. This isn't all the ones that we're going to use, but I have 44 total, and they cost me around $200. Oh, and the top of the acrylic 1-inch acrylic panel is not going to be braced. Completely open top, so I'll have to figure out a top. I'm thinking I want the filtration to be run off solar, but now we have to also think about where are we going to get the viewing panel. And this is where it gets interesting, because we already have the 1-inch panels. Remember the 16-foot long tank that I built just to do it, just to challenge myself? It would be fun. I kept them. Now, each panel would run me around $500, plus the blocks that already cost me $200. But what's everything going to cost? The pergola is only going to be around $300, because really it's just like metal poles that come over here. And then you can like bring back the drape. $300. It's actually really nice though. The epoxy to line the plywood, $200. The plywood itself, $250. Wood is really expensive up here in Canada, where all we have is trees. The cement is annoyingly expensive, $250. Every block is going to essentially take around 40 pounds of cement. And I think I'm going to do the dry pour, where you pour in the cement and then water it. It works for my fence. Let me know. I'm also like bouncing things off of you, because I could be wrong on a lot of stuff. Mind you, I don't want to mix the cement and pour it in. We'll see where it goes. The styrofoam and vapor barrier, around $80. I'm using 1-inch thick styrofoam though. And then to cap this off, the silicone that I'm going to need, fiberglass cloth, another $200, because I want this to look really cool. But it's going to go down 2 feet. Like I'm only standing in each one of these blocks 8 inches. This is 16 inches, but it's going to go down another 8 inches, making it 2 feet deep. Well, technically I'm going to have to make it 26 inches deep to accommodate, or 27 inches deep to accommodate the sand cap, as well as the styrofoam and the plywood. But then we're going to get to the filtration. I don't know what I want to do, because the pergola will be here. I'm thinking one of two things. One, because the arowana can only be out here for 2 months, just based on weather, I'm thinking I'll do an overhead filter over here, and I'll make it look really nice. And it's going to have to be heated and a bunch of other things for at nighttime. But then, because the 2-foot panel is going to go 8 inches into the ground, I can dig underneath the ground, drill into it, put a bulkhead there with a standpipe, and I'd angle it over here so it wouldn't be in the viewing panel, and connect it to the pond. So the pond can fill it, or at least filter it throughout the rest of the year. The supplies that I already have, I paid $700 for them like a year or two ago, but I'm gonna need another $1,300 in supplies, maybe another $500 for filtration, and then maybe another $500 for it to look good. So like another $2,300 to make this complete, but I'm thinking I could do this for $3,000, which sounds like a lot, but it's Canadian, so I don't know, divide that darn near in half for American.
But I can't have a fruit or flowering tree.
Well, the deer are going to eat it, plus the trees you want are 150 bucks a pop, and they take years to grow.
That's why I need to start now.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If this video gets like 1,000 likes, I'll get you a fruit tree. But if it doesn't get 1,000 likes, I'll go climb one of those trees, and then you'll have a fruit in a tree. Well, the mustache and all. But I guess that's also how fish keepers think, right? I've got $700 invested that I spent 2 years ago, so it's like it doesn't exist anymore. And I only got to spend another $2,300 to make this happen. I'm already invested, but isn't that a cool idea? 300 gallons, it's not too big to filter or heat. It's incredibly interesting to look at. It's not too high off the ground, so it's not like a massive eyesore. Plus the pergola going over it, I think it's incredibly interesting. Now, will this be its final placement? I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't mind 2 feet of grass to walk in front of it. Like, see how the grass is growing right here? Or whatever? Like how it's like just full, right? I want that in front, and I'll have to measure the deck of the lawnmower, but I want that to be in front of the viewing panel. Covered, heated, filtered, pergola, Asian arowana, getting a tan in the Canadian summer. And when's the last time you got to see an Asian arowana in North America? Now, mind you, will I do that forever? I think I just need it to happen. I think like I'm on that arc of like, I'm tired of serving everybody else and doing what the algorithm wants me to, because obviously I don't do that anymore. Heck, I barely upload. But what if I just did the cool stuff that I really want to do? And this is one of the cool things that I really want to do. We have a problem though. It's only going to get nice enough for the Asian arowana in July as well as August. We're at the end of May right now, and the concrete's going to take about 30 days to cure. So I need to get a move on it. And if you want to see this or be a part of it or follow along, make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. I'm entirely excited for this. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be amazing. It seems short though. It seems really short. I guess I could make it taller and 2 feet above the ground. I'd rather it go in the ground. I'd rather the illusion. Yeah. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was just a simple sneak peek. I'm really excited about this. I'm really pumped for it. I just want to build it. I want it to happen. I want to do the King of DIY's flavor on an outdoor concrete tank with a viewing panel and see if I can make it happen. But I have until the end of June to not only get it completely built, but up and running and filtered. Oh, do you know how I'm gonna heat it? I'll give them a spoiler alert. I'm not even gonna bother showing them. I could have brought it out. I'm gonna be able to heat it and aerate it. We'll see. I'm too excited for this. I told you to have patience, but more importantly, I told you to have vision. Don't pay attention to how janky this is, and they're not concrete blocks, and in masonry, you're not supposed to line them up like that. Otherwise, this happens, like they just fall over. But if we stagger them type of thing, it builds strength. I might even put rebar down there, but above the ground that's also helping keep it together, we only have 16 inches. I definitely like this because it's so easy to look into, plus like sit with him. I probably won't do that. Okay, in the next video, I'm going to give you an update on everything. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. This is happening whether you like it or not. nobody does the stuff that I like until I make it cool. But this probably isn't cool. This is just something I really want to do, and it's going to occupy the next month of my time. Plus, I have to bring the rack back to the aquarium gallery. But not those exact aquariums that used to be in there. I want to do a completely different twist. If you want to see that, subscribe if you have. You know the drill. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'll see you in a couple days or whenever I upload the next one where I update on all this. You shouldn't, did they see this?